Okay.
Hey, Gary. Hey, Brent.
Hey, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah. Good morning.
I'm guessing what you look like, but I got a good guess.
You can see a picture of me.
It's all good. Where are you guys calling in from?
I live in Nashville.
Nashville. How about you, Brent?
Denver, Colorado.
Nice. Well, we're praying for snow just like you over here in Utah.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a few inches on Saturday, or I'm sorry, Friday, but I don't think it's going to be done.
We had 8 yesterday. I was unable to get out, but it was definitely, yeah, it was all gone instantly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Scary times.
Yeah.
Brent, good to see you again. Happy you're able to join the call.
Yeah, you too, Stacy. Thanks for letting me know. I'm at a car dealership, so I'm off camera. So
That's right. You're getting the brakes done.
that's right. And of
Thanks.
course, they found other things that are recommended.
Oh, don't you love it when that happens?
Yeah.
That's why
I've been in sales for 25 years, and I always feel like I'm getting sold when I come to it. You know?
Yeah.
We know the feeling. Welcome, Joe. Welcome, JT. Where are you guys calling from?
Thanks for having me. Chicago suburbs myself.
Awesome. JT, how about you? JT is calling from the black hole of the internet. South Florida. We're in South Florida. I'm a Boca boy. Miami. Okay. Nice. Awesome. Well, I'm going to give people just another minute to get started. Yeah, we understand the sound and video issues. I think we're one of few organizations that are built on Google. So thank you guys for Googling with us. Would love to hear in the chat while we're waiting for a few people, if you guys would type in on a scale of 1 to 10 or 1 to 5, 5 being I use it for every single thing that I do. Would love to understand how much you use AI. So 1 to 5, 5 being I use it for almost too much, and 1 being that I just downloaded ChatGPT or Google Gemini and I'm starting to get my toes wet. Thanks, Joe, for the honesty. 2, 3, 4. All right, Gary's a pro. Awesome. Thank you guys for doing that. My next question would be, if you could type one client that you think could benefit, that you've worked with over the years, that could benefit from AI, just generically, whether that's in our space of calling, texting, or web chat, or just overall business operations, what customer do you think would be best to educate on AI? Banks for sure. Brent, do you work with banks? Are these customers of yours that you're thinking?
I used to. I worked with a contact center company that focused on banks and credit unions for a year, and they're obviously hesitant to use AI because they just move slowly with technology and they don't want to lose a personal look and feel. But there's just so many simple things on a daily basis, like what's my balance and things like that, that just don't need humans, anymore. So
for sure. Hard to say. Retail to logistics, healthcare, dentists and vets, definitely agree. Awesome. Okay, well, it looks like this is our group today. Hi, everybody. I'm Carl Case, Chief Energizing Officer here at Skipio, joined by Stacy, our Telarus, go-to girly for anything you guys want to know on how we look, feel, function, and operate. She is dedicated to the Telarus partnership. Joined also by our Chief Partnership Officer, Tomas Reyes, who has extensive knowledge in the consulting and BPO outsourced call center space. I'll give you a little background on Skipio and why we're here today. Skipio has been a legacy text message marketing company for the last decade, supporting over 38,000 businesses in North America with text message marketing, whether that's inbound, outbound, mass messaging, and ringless voicemail, which is a platform that I am constantly pushing because it really works. I acquired Skipio in a merger 13 months ago from my AI company, RapidTalk.ai, which focuses on building unique knowledge bases for each and every customer so that we can answer inbound calls, text, and web chats using one knowledge base so that your customers get the same experience across any channel that they communicate to you with. Technology is not something new to me. My claim to fame is I built Burger King's mobile app, touchscreen kiosk, and website. I was fortunate to license that technology to brands like Taco Bell, Panda Express, Popeyes, Tim Hortons, Dunkin' Donuts, Subway, 43,000 installs in 3 years. And for those of you that are consultants, you understand what it takes to do that. And it's pretty wild. So I'm here today to really educate you guys on how to win AI deals by selling coverage and conversation. I hope that in the next 15 minutes, that success for me to you guys looks like really getting some real use cases that maybe you didn't think of before, and how you can seriously monetize off of this right now with a solution that doesn't take months to deliver, nor hundreds of thousands of dollars to prove to your customers that it's here. Does that sound good to everybody? If there's something else that you want to accomplish so that you know that this was a valuable few minutes of your time, please pop that in the chat and I'll make sure that we accomplish that. And with that being said, let's get started. So Skipio, as I said, did not start with AI. We definitely earned it. We're built to solve real customer conversations before AI became a trend. So for 10 years, we've been helping customers figure out how to communicate better. And we're compliant with SOC 2 and HIPAA. We can handle high volume business texting, voicemail drops, and we've learned exactly how customers ask questions, book appointments, and ultimately slip through the cracks. We were founded in 2016. I think I've gone over most of this, but I think something that's really important is the last two lines. We're built for operators who need certainty and not experiments. How many of you guys know that AI right now is mainly an experiment for most businesses and they have no clue what this can really produce? I imagine most of you. So we deploy and manage AI employees, not do-it-yourself tools. This is not a software that you buy a license to and you hope that you can find somebody that can figure out how to use it. We handhold our customers through success and clearly define that success. So why AI deals stall in the real world? AI deals don't fail because the technology is weak, typically. They fail because the buyers can't connect AI to daily operations and measurable revenue. If that resonates with you guys, please pop a 1 in the chat. Some things that we hear are that it feels complicated. There's no clear job defined. It's expensive, meaning the ROI is not quantified in the first phone call that it takes. And we just don't trust it. No guardrails or human handoff. So your job here is not to defend AI. It's to show where revenue's leaking, whether that's, calls going to voicemail. Less than 10% of new customers going into a business that leave a voicemail actually become a paying customer. That statistic really hurts, especially for businesses where most of their calls are missed. So selling AI is digital labor and not software. This is really, really important. How many of you guys have heard that these are called AI agents? It's nearly impossible for a business to understand what an AI agent is because they don't have agents in their business unless they're call centers or unless they've been in that space. So I encourage you all to communicate a software like this or any AI technology as an AI employee, because business owners can attribute an employee to revenue. So don't position it as intelligence, position it as coverage in anything that we can replicate in the business. So Skipio AI is digital labor that answers when humans can't, responds faster than staff, follows up every single time with your exact SOPs, and hands off to the next step with typically more context than ever. An example of that is we built recently for a couple hundred medical clinics that use us an intake form. Put a 1 in the chat if you love going to a doctor's office for the first time and then spending 15 minutes rushing through a piece of paper as fast as possible to give them the information that they need to treat you. Sucks. So what we've empowered is a tool that the patient can call on their way into the office, and through a 10 to 15 minute conversation, we fill out an intake form, send it to the doctor so the doctor's prepared with everything that they need, and typically has 100% times more information on it than ever possible, because if you're like me or most customers, I'm rushing through that form as fast as possible and don't really want to give the information. But when I'm talking over the phone, I'm going to spill the beans and just keep talking and know that the information's getting there. Coverage creates conversation, and conversation creates ROI, simply put. So why AI? Oh, we went the wrong way. There we go. I want to talk through this framework on a real call and show you guys the importance of this. So some customers we get often that say, I can't justify even spending $500 a month on coverage because I don't need it. I never miss calls. My staff is the best. And I'm like, well, what about when they're at lunch? What about when they're on another call? Well, we don't have that. We have an overflow. We have 3 full-time front desk staff. I've really heard it all over the last couple of years of selling this technology. So this is a brand called OsteoStrong. This is a live call that I had with them. They have 76 locations, and they told me, Carl, we don't really have a problem. And I said, great, do me one favor before our next call, if you're willing to take another call. And that's look at how many calls went to voicemail, and of those voicemailed calls, how many became actual customers. So they picked their number one grossing revenue location that happens to have 3 extra staff members than normal because they use it for training. And they immediately emailed me and said, okay, Carl, we need this solution now. And it was really obvious. So of the 119 calls that they received during normal business hours, this is not even including after hours, they received 119 and only answered 33 of those. Of the 36 that were missed, none of them became customers. They also had no clue their name, their email address, why they were calling. They could have been spam. We don't know. And of those 50 that were voicemailed missed customers, 1 became a paying customer. Those numbers suck. This brand was paying hundreds of dollars to acquire leads and not even answering the phone, and their lead journey was to call the location. This is painful. So what I'm really trying to showcase to you guys is when there's an opportunity that the customer says, I don't need this solution, this is the greatest way to showcase to them that they do. And most likely, if they're not using a system that you've embedded to them from a technology or phone call perspective, they might not have any clue these numbers. So really, a way to do this as well, and I encourage everyone here, call 5 of your top 5 prospects today and do one thing. Leave them a voicemail that says, unless they know you, but leave them a voicemail that says, hey, this is Carl. Please call me back. My number is 561-926-0243. That's it. You don't need to tell them what you're calling for, whatever it may be, and count how long it takes for them to call you back. Obviously, if it takes more than a day, that's the easiest conversation to open up because that customer's out the door and gone somewhere else. But when it takes multiple days, now they have a real business operations problem, and it becomes even more obvious to solve this. So when the owner says, we don't have this issue, say, well, just so you know, it took your staff 4 days to call me back from the voicemail. Okay, we do have a problem. So I want to quantify this in more ways that you guys can open up opportunities, because this is a very lucrative opportunity to build residuals for you. So these 5 questions of when do you miss the most calls or messages? What happens when those calls go unanswered? That's really important. What's one booked customer worth to you? And I encourage you to get them to understand the lifetime value of that customer. So yes, they might be purchasing something for $100 that month, but if they stay in the business as a subscription, and maybe it's a boutique fitness studio or whatever it may be, and their average lifetime value or lifetime is 13 months, that's $1,300 at a $100 cost that they missed by not answering the phone. So how many of those did we miss last week? If they know the answer, they'll really know that the solution's for them. And then just multiply it by 4 and we know the answer for the month. The monthly leak, which I don't think anyone in Telarus is speaking to businesses that don't generate at least $500 per client over the value. But if the leak is more than $500, the math is pretty simple. Our solution's $499. We fix that problem for that cost. So this really isn't a cost conversation. It's a revenue recovery conversation, because there is revenue just being blasted out the door. So some other ways that you can do this, and I'll share this presentation with you all, is what percentage of inbound calls are missed or abandoned, what happens after hours or during peak volume. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys have called in the last year a plumber, a air conditioner, a roofer, a garage repairman, or any business after hours. Pop a 1 in there, and I'll know that you feel the pain, that it probably took 20 minutes to find to get your information to the person that's not even the person that's going to help you. Brent, would you agree with that solution? That's the journey that most people have?
Yeah, they're just, they're in the field doing work, and they're not built or scaled to, handle the influx of calls, and do the work at the same time.
Yeah, that, and lucky you that you got a technician. I typically call all the time, and I get somebody overseas, and it literally takes 25 minutes for them to just take my information down and spell the things that I'm saying correctly, which is the most frustrating thing ever. To then
I would drop that. I would call a different person if that's what was happening.
Yeah, exactly. To then be told that somebody's going to call me back by the morning, I'm like, what did I just waste all this time with you for? So how many locations share this same problem, and is booking or transferring the primary goal? If any of these are uncertain, we're an obvious fit. And ways that we can attach this are to any UCaaS or CCaaS system. And from a connectivity perspective, we are not asking customers to change their phone number. So most customers have a phone number that's displayed online. We'll route that to us after X amount of time, so we can ring their location for 10 seconds. If they don't pick up before it goes to voicemail, let us take that so it didn't go to voicemail and handle that next task that's needed. So the decision we like to make pretty simple here at Skipio. We don't charge setup fees, unlike our competitors, which are typically 6 figures in and take 9 months to deliver a product. We're live in about 14 days, sometimes faster if they give us the information that's needed. And plans start at $500 a month. If they're an owner-operator business or even a Jiffy Lube, their minutes, they come with 2,000 minutes for that $4.99. That's typically enough to handle it. And that includes support, building, and hand-holding through the platform. I believe there was somebody that joined in late. If so, the biggest differentiator that I want to say from a value perspective is that Skipio's main differentiator is that no business was built for AI. And if you guys listen to anything today and get it, this is what I want you to learn from my 3 years of paying the idiot tax of how to convey this product to the world. And that's that the way that we onboard is very simple. We notice one revenue gap, whether their calls are going to voicemail, they're unable to answer during hours, and they need a customer to be scheduled onto their calendar or to get the information so that they can provide a quote for a roof or whatever it may be. We take that one task, we knock it out the park within 2 weeks, and then we start to listen to 100% of calls that come in for the next 30 days. This is really important. So when we're listening to those calls, we're able to notice different things that are repetitive, meaning the last 12 customers asked for pricing. Let's go ahead and get that pricing for the customer, build it into the AI employee so that we never have to answer that question again. By the time we're done with that 30-day sprint, we're typically answering a vast majority of their phone calls. So we started off crawling, then we're walking, and then by the end of the 30 days, we are fully sprinting in that business, leveraging our technology. By that time, doing web chat inbounds, text inbounds, and obviously voice calls. So really, really important when we look at how this is different than other solutions. And I really encourage you all to pick the customer that you think is a great prospect and go ahead and call them, leave that voicemail, and watch how long it takes for you to call them back. This is the easiest way to prove that this solution is here. I have Stacy's information here. We are desiring to co-sell with you all so that this product gets really dumbed down for the customer to understand how this is an employee and how they can compare it to an active employee and attributable revenue. And thank you all for this presentation. That was 16 minutes. I hope you got a ton of value in that, and would love to open the floor for questions for a few. I couldn't have been that good.
I have a question. This is Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, and Stacy, we talked the other day, and she convinced me to jump on this webinar, so I'm glad she did. Cool. But I do want to just clarify setup fees. When Stacy and I talked, there was a 5,000 onboard thing. So
Yep.
maybe it's setup fee, maybe. So please clarify.
Yeah, so we have two different versions of our system. We have a growth plan, which 90% of our customers fit into to start. And there's no setup fee for that except $4.99 to get started, and that covers their first month. Now, when the customer needs integrations into their EHR, their CRM, their booking platform, and it requires API integrations that are available, we charge $5,000 to do that integration. And that also puts them into our pro plan, which is $749 a month and includes 3,000 minutes instead of 2. So that's most likely what was going on there. I would say that any intrinsic build typically starts in the growth phase and then can scale into pro. But for now, the thing to focus on is that we can prove to a customer for $500 in under 2 weeks that they can get an AI employee that never shows up late, has a great attitude, and matches the tone and personality of the brand.
Okay, that's awesome. And I apologize, Stacy, if I misunderstood that the other day. So I know you sent me some stuff, but yeah, resend that to us just in case we missed it. But that's awesome. I appreciate having the two-pronged approach.
Yep. And I don't know if you guys will get this joke, but I'm looking forward to naming my first son Justin. My last name's Case, just in case. Ha ha.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Any thanks you for that, Jason. Brent, JT.
I have a son you can have if you'd like one.
Thanks.
What is this a large language model you built yourself, or are you white labeling a generic public facing model?
Great question. So we are agnostic. We're agnostic on voice model and language models. So if you have customers that prefer certain ones, we can use them. We also have healthcare clients that are using their own small language models so that it doesn't go out to feed the information. Brent, that also segued me into something. A very important thing that we do is if we don't know the answer to the question, we are not going to the language model to get the answer. We throw our hands up and tell them that we would either take a message if it's after hours, repeat the message back to make sure that the customer feels heard, or we'll warm transfer that to a live human if they're available.
But do you use public models at all, or is it just based on, like, you kind of create a small language model for each customer based on the information on their website or wherever they give you for their FAQs?
Yeah, it depends. We can do both, but typically it just depends on the use case. I would say that I really want to lean into the fact that we're agnostic. So most of our agents are built on 3.0 or 4.0 mini on OpenAI, but we in our backend we have a toggle that we can go to any language model that's publicly available or embed our own.
Okay. And then obviously any customer information isn't sent to underlying training data for those public models?
That's a great question. No, it's not. It's all stayed internal.
Okay. And then Stacy did mention you do different languages and translation, and I'm curious if you're using like Google or Amazon for that stuff.
So it once again depends on the customer. We're agnostic on that side too, but we're typically using the language model itself to do so. I want to hone in on the languages real quick. We support any language that is available except only one of the 96 Indian dialects. So if you guys are going to sell heavily in India, we might not be the best provider for you. We've found it very, very challenging to do so. But anything else that you throw our way as far as languages are concerned, we got you covered.
Yeah, it's disappointing you're not covering everything there. That's too bad, Carl.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time.
Yeah. If we're done, I just want to wrap. Any more questions, and then I want to showcase something.
No, it's been fantastic. Thank you.
Cool. Who can I put on the spotlight that's not calling from their phone that I could have call a Jiffy Lube to see what we do for Jiffy Lube? Is anybody available on their computer that they could put their phone on speaker next to it? Nicole, Gary, Jason, Joe, Brent, JT?
Yeah, I can do it.
Awesome. Thanks for raising your hand, Gary. So I'm gonna. I hope you guys have seen a Jiffy Lube in your backyard. I'm going to pull up their busiest location in the country. It's Jiffy Lube Davie. You can call this number at any time. We're very close with their corporate, and this account specifically is on an unlimited plan, so you can showcase this number anytime that you want. We use it live and for demo purposes. So Gary, if you would call this number and put it on speaker, while you're dialing that, one thing that I would love for you to do, ask any question that you want. I don't want to, direct you, but at the point that you do go down to pricing, and it will happen during the call, it's going to offer to send you a coupon. I would like you to say yes so that you can see that journey and just talk about it to the rest of the people on the call.
Okay.
We're ready when you are. You guys ready to meet Mike, the ultimate AI
This call will be
employee?
recorded for quality and training purposes.
Hello, thanks for calling Jiffy Lube. This is Mark. How can I help you today?
Yeah, I need to book an appointment today.
Nope, no appointments are necessary. We're a drive-up facility, so you can stop by anytime during our open hours. Let me know if you need anything else.
Yeah, do y'all replace windshield wipers?
We sure do. Wiper blades actually happen to be our service of the month. We're offering 15% off on all wiper blades right now. Would you like me to text you a coupon for that?
Yes, please.
Got it. I've just sent you the coupon. Let me know if there's anything else I can help you with.
Yeah, what are your hours?
We're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Since we're a drive-up facility, you can visit anytime during those hours. Can assist you with?
I'm good, thank you.
All right, sounds good. Have a great day.
And yeah, they texted me the coupon with a code for 15% off all wiper blades.
Awesome. What'd you think of the journey, Gary?
Yeah, it was conversational. It was pretty easy. I didn't really trick it up any. I kind of knew from a Jiffy Lube experience, they always want to give you either air filters or wiper blades. It's almost common.
So what
I guess I
Jiffy-
could have asked it if it had any specials for the month. I don't know if what would have done if I said that. Maybe the wiper blades.
You can definitely call back and experience that if you'd like. Just to confirm, your number starts in 425-443.
Yeah, that's it.
So in our back end, this is what Jiffy Lube can see either through our mobile app or from a emailed conversation or actually integrated into their Microsoft Power BI, so they never need to go to us. But we see that exact conversation here. We can also see that there was a promo sent. I can listen to that call recording as well if I wanted to. And then now something else that I can do is I can go into the contact and I can see in the contact field any time that there was a conversation happened. And if you had said, hey, my name's Gary, nice to meet you, we would fill out any field that comes in here and I can see the conversation and the text that was sent back to you. So we've really created a very light version of a CRM for our clients that don't necessarily have those data fields that we can push into their system and really just work alongside these customers so that we can make sure that we're delivering way more value right out the gate than they can ever get from a human. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you all hopping on today. We'll make sure to send you over this presentation. Reminder, call 5 prospects today that you think you would love to embed this tech to. Leave them a voicemail. They answer the phone, call them back later. They probably won't answer.
Okay.
If you guys have any questions, Stacy's a great resource for you. It's just Telarus@skipio.com. And thanks to my team for hopping on today. And if you guys don't have any questions, I wish you a wonderful day and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for the time
Thanks
today.
everyone for joining.